Gunman assassinates Japan ex-PM Abe on campaign trail. Nara, Japan. Former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, the longest-serving chief of modern-day Japan, changed into gunned down on Friday whilst campaigning for a parliamentary election, surprising a country in which guns are tightly managed and political violence almost unthinkable. Abe, 67, changed into mentioned dead round 5.5 hours after the capturing within the town of Nara. Police arrested a 41-year-old guy and mentioned the weapon was a homemade gun. "I am simply speechless over the news of Abe's loss of life," Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, Abe's protégé, instructed newshounds. Earlier, as Abe still lay in sanatorium where physicians tried to restore him, Kishida struggled to maintain his feelings in test. "This assault is an act of brutality that came about during the elections, the very foundation of our democracy, and is surely unforgivable," he said. Abe were creating a marketing campaign speech outside a teach station while photographs rang out. Security officials have been then visible tackling a person in a gray t-shirt and beige trousers. "They're changed into a noisy bang and then smoke," businessman Makoto Ichikawa, who turned into at the scene, instructed. "The first shot, nobody knew what became occurring, but after the second one shot, what looked like unique police tackled him." Kyoto News Carrier published a photograph of Abe mendacity face-up on the street through a guardrail, blood on his white shirt. People had been crowded around him, one administering heart rub-down. Abe become taken to health facility in cardiopulmonary arrest and displaying no vital signs and symptoms. He was declared lifeless at 5:03 p.m. 08:03 GMT, having bled to dying from deep wounds to the coronary heart and the right aspect of his neck. He had received more than 100 devices of blood in transfusions over 4 hours, Hidetada Fukushima, the professor in rate of emergency remedy at Nara Medical University Hospital, informed a televised information convention. Police mentioned the gunman had admitted to capturing Abe with a homemade firearm he had fashioned out of metal and wooden. Media reported his call as Tetsuya Yamagami. Police said he changed into a Nara resident who worked at Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Forces for 3 years, however now regarded to be unemployed. "They had been investigating whether he had acted on my own. Investigators observed several different home-made guns at his one-room flat in Nara City," police introduced. The suspect stated he bore a grudge towards a specific corporation, and believed Abe changed into a part of it, and that his grudge changed into no longer approximately politics, the police mentioned, including it turned into now not clean if the unnamed organization in reality existed. Flowers laid. Members of the general public laid flowers close to the spot where Abe fell. TV Asahi stated that Abe's frame would be transferred to his Tokyo domestic on Saturday. It became the primary killing of a sitting or former Japanese leader because a 1936 coup tried, whilst numerous figures such as ex-premiers have been assassinated. Post-war Japan prides itself on its orderly and open democracy. Senior Japanese politicians are followed via armed safety retailers, however regularly get close to the public, especially for the duration of political campaigns when they make roadside speeches and shake fingers with passers-by. In 2007, the mayor of Nagasaki became shot and killed via a Yakuza gangster. The head of the Japan Socialist Party changed into assassinated at some point of a speech in 1960 by using a right-wing youngsters with a samurai short sword. A few different prominent politicians have been attacked, however now not injured. 2 years when you consider that stepping down, Abe had remained a dominant presence over the ruling Liberal Democratic Party (LDP), controlling one of its important factions. Kishida, who gained the premiership with Abe's backing, stated the LDP would preserve election campaigning on Saturday to illustrate its clear up to in no way provide into violence, and to guard a free and truthful election at all cost. Stunned, outraged, I am shocked, outraged, and deeply saddened by way of the information that my pal Abe Shinzo, former Prime Minister of Japan, became shot and killed while campaigning, U.S. President Joe Biden mentioned in an assertion. This is a tragedy for Japan and for all who knew him.